My narrative revolves around how I discovered my wife's infidelity with the unexpected help of the subway. We have been married for more than 10 years and are proud to have a 9-year-old son. I'm almost 10 years older than her, but at 45, I still feel young. It seemed that we had survived all kinds of storms, fire, water, and life's trials. But, as it turned out, this was just the beginning. Through the years, our life together has been generally harmonious, marked by the usual blend of disagreements and joyful occasions, much like any couple. During the early years of our child's life, we were on the brink of separation. It was a challenging period, yet we managed to pull through. Financially, we aren't rolling in riches, but we certainly aren't struggling to make ends meet either. The most significant dispute arose about a year ago, when my once loyal partner started seeing a guy. Someone from my workplace, no less, with whom we had shared quite a bit of camaraderie. The coworker, of course, is significantly younger, more appealing, and in a better financial position. It felt like a stab in the back from both of them, but I found a way to forgive, if such things can truly be forgiven entirely. We resolved to give it another go, and that was the crux of it. One day, my faithful partner decided to spend the night with her mother again. I can't say that I fully share such views, but it doesn't seem to create any serious problems. Her mother is lonely, and she misses her company. However, strangely enough, I wonder why she always invites her to visit without her child. But this can also be explained. She longs for a break, a moment to relax, to forget that a lot of dishes have accumulated for one evening. At least that's how my wife explained her reasons. I'm on the phone, which means she's picked up on my signal. During our little conversation, we exchange endearments almost in whispers when we finish. "So, see you tomorrow?" I ask. "Sleep tight, dear. In the morning, I will return from my mother to my precious men. Blow them a kiss. Text me when you arrive," they reminded her. And then I hear, "The next stop is the Sports Palace." A voice from the subway speakers interrupts our conversation like an unwanted interlude. Suddenly, I'm on edge because from my mom's, the Sports Palace is in the total opposite direction, eerily near to that certain chap I almost throttled in my fury last year. Let's just call him Henry for now. At that instant, the wife was oblivious to her blunder. It seemed she hadn't considered how powerful the phone's speaker actually was. Meanwhile, I felt like I was on the verge of a mini-stroke. My palms started shaking, my cheeks flushed with a rush of blood, and my mind was reeling. I mean, put yourself in my shoes. How would you handle it, knowing something shady was going on? So, there I was, wrestling with my thoughts. Is history repeating itself? But before jumping to conclusions, I resolved to verify my suspicions completely after all. It's best to tackle family issues one at a time. With that decision, the gears in my head began to turn, pondering over our next steps. I can't help but wonder if my sweet aunt has any idea whether she'll be hiding away, or if she's as blissfully unaware as I still am. Overall, I'm just picking up my son. Thank goodness it's Friday. It's not too late, and we're heading off to tea like not-so-great guests. Suddenly, the door swings open without a hint of warning, and there stands my mother-in-law. Oh, what a surprise! It's such a warm welcome, and hello escapes my lips as I realize just how much we've missed each other. So we decided to pay a short visit, put ourselves in order, and go home. Staring intently at my reflection, I was startled. No, not just caught off guard. Without looking away, she opened her eyes wide for a moment. Her face reflected the expression of a confused spouse, clearly at a loss. "Where's Madison?" she asked. Actually, I was going to ask you the same question, Elizabeth, since she supposedly spent the night at your place. At that moment, I was sincerely afraid that she might have a small stroke herself. Instinctively, she pressed her hands to her chest, sank into a chair, and exclaimed, "But where is she? It's getting pretty late. What if something happened to her, especially since she didn't warn me? She must be on her way. She knows that I'm always here and waiting," she reasoned. Deciding not to strain her nerves anymore, I immediately called my wife right in the presence of our mother and assured her that I was aware of her whereabouts and what she was doing with another. She refrained from using harsh language. She wasn't even lying. She was just crying, holding the phone tightly to her ear. I vividly imagined the scene: a rumpled bed, a glass of wine, and a grieving lady barely covered with a sheet. But laughter is laughter. What can I say? To be honest, I'm a little confused. Naturally, he had his moments. I started counting the number of times she stayed over at her mother's. There will probably be between 1 and 10 of them within a year. And yet it's clear that the resting place of the hunchback could fix everything, and it's a little upsetting. How can you be such an eccentric person? And how long would it have lasted if it hadn't been for that fatal subway? But whether to file for divorce and what will happen to our child is a difficult question to which I have no definite answer.